This session is about utilities and the renewal options and how that has been upgraded into 6.8 of Audience View. So the idea about this session is showing you how to you can refund and return tickets for a performance that may have been cancelled but en masse. So rather than going into each individual order, you can have a renewal utility to do all that work for you. So first of all, we need a business intelligence query. And it has to be an order object option, and I've created one here already just so you can look. So it's a refund, it's an order object. I'm going to go straight to the criteria tab because I need to just identify the orders that have a performance that I'm interested in. So I'll hit my performance code. I've got a little performance picker here, and I'm going to search, and I know that I've got some sales against my Beyonce event, so I'm going to add the details there and come back to the results tab and click apply just to save those changes. So first of all, we can have a preview, and we can see there that we've got three orders, 148 to 150, where they've got some tickets, at least one ticket for that Beyonce performance. So make sure you save that order object business intelligence, name it something accordingly, as I've just done here, make it to refunds and make it a public access mode. Once I've got that complete, I can come into utilities and then to the renewals tab within there. Now again, I've got this already set up, but basically I can show you exactly how that's all been put together. So you give the utility a name. So again, I would suggest making it the same name as the BI query that you've created, just so that you've got a link there that you know how it's connected. I can put a description in there if I want to, just to give myself or my team more information. The renewal type needs to be an update order, because obviously the orders already exist. I just need to update them to remove the tickets or the admissions from the order. There are lots of options in this drop-down box for creating new orders or new offers, or updating orders with renewable payment methods, those kind of things, all of which will come back in later training sessions. But I'm going to concentrate on update order. I've got an order delivery method. Well, I've selected pick up later here. I could quite easily create a brand new delivery method that's called refunds. It's not available on any other performance, but it will be available in this utility. It just needs a value in there, but it's quite nice to have it so that you can, another way of identifying the orders that have been affected by this renewal utility. Order unpaid reason. If there are any tickets left unpaid, there shouldn't be, but if in this case it again probably needs a value, so I would just put approved by box office management. Notice that these fields are not mandatory, so I can put blanks in there if I want to, but I may want to, as I say, create a delivery method and an unpaid reason in the list, just so that I can identify them, so I know where they are in the future if I need to refer back to them. Orders to renew, well, that's the name of the BI query that we've just created, and there's a little magnifying glass here which will go and look at all order object business intelligence queries. So if you know the name of it, which is quite easily refunds, you can go and grab that, and once you've found it, there it is, select it and click apply, and that will then tell this utility to refer to the business intelligence query that we just created. Order warnings. I generally select everything in this box. Basically, it's all the suppressing the warning messages that could occur if you were doing this manually. So it might be that the tickets have already been printed, that the order has been left in an overpaid state. I can remove some of these if I don't want that to happen, but generally speaking, I want to refund everybody, so I'd select everybody in this list. Payment methods, well, again, I've got a list of everything in there because depending on how the customer has paid for them, I might want to put them back. I, for instance, put all my sales through my local system as cash, but I have selected that. I've selected everything else as well. And the payment type, well, obviously I'm going to be refunding these tickets, so I've selected refund there. At this point, I could hit the create button. I've already done that, so there's the apply button there as normal with Audience View, so I can change that if I want to. Next, we're coming to the seating tab, and we need to add a rule. Okay, and this is what the utility is going to use and decide what to do with the orders that it finds in the BI query. So again, I've created one here already. Again, the name of this rule could be refunds. I'm going to have the renewal mapping as remove performance. Again, there are some options in here that we'll cover later. This for renewals of season tickets, where we're going from bundle to bundle, but I could remove a performance or remove a bundle as the options. So in this case, I'm going to do remove performance. Again, a little description field here if I wanted it, just to identify and help me identify in the future. It's not public facing, it's just for internal use only. Just going to come down on this to the performances from. So this is the name of the performance, which should marry up with the performance that I've selected in my BI query. So again, I've got a little picker box there, and I can go and select the event that I'm interested in. But that should obviously match the performance that we've got in the BI, as I mentioned. Then we have a balancing misc item and a refund rate. The reason for this is that you may want to hold on to some of the money from the order. It may be through booking fees or anything like that, or any per ticket fees that you may have. Now, the only way we can do that right now is to create a miscellaneous item where it's going to post the money to. So, for example, if I've got £100 or $100 ticket, and I only want to give a $95 or pounds of that back, I've got £5 that the order is going to be left out of balance. So I can create a miscellaneous item and then say that the 95% of the ticket price is going to be refunded, and anything else will, the remaining £5 or dollars will go into the miscellaneous item. Some people will have a sign up to particular programs where best practice is to refund everything to the customer, so therefore they don't need this refund rate, but it's there as an option if you need to. I'm going to come from the price type options is from source. That's the best one to have when I'm refunding, so that's all okay. So again, I can apply to save the changes and the renewal is updated. Now notice that I haven't actually run anything at the moment. This is different to previous versions of Audience View where you had to configure all of the renewal all over again if you made a mistake, but this one you can save it, come back and make changes, tweaks, make sure it's all running correctly before you actually execute it. But once we're happy with it, I can hit the execute button, and then even then, when I do that, it's going to refer to the BI query, and quite correctly, I've got 3 orders that it's going to try and renew or update. So if I've got a problem at this point, I can click cancel and nothing has happened, nothing's been done, and I might want to just go in and check. So once I am happy, I can click execute again and click OK, and the renewal will go through and update, and I can see a little message to say that 3 orders are processed and 3 orders were successfully updated, 0 failed. It would tell you in this pop-up how many did fail, and then on this results tab you would get an error number and the message as to why the order did not update. But as you can see here, the source, the original one, there's the orders 148 to 150, and the destination, because it's updating, I'm not creating any new orders. These are hyperlinks, so I can click on that hyperlink and it will take me directly through to the order, and you can see that there are no admissions left on the order. There was the original payment and the refund has gone through. So imagine this if you had 1,000 tickets on a performance to refunds, the time it would take you to go through and refund each of those orders one by one has dramatically been reduced, and you can get the system to do all that work for you. Slight word of warning, I would always restrict the BI first of all. To have a look at the orders that you've got. Obviously this one's not going to show anything now because the tickets have been removed, but I would set my criteria once I've found an order number, and it may be a test order that you've created yourself, put that into the criteria as such, and where it equals, just as an example, as 150, because I know that was one of the order numbers. But I would just save this BI query and then run the renewal utility first off to make sure that I've got all the rules and all the details set accordingly. I don't want to go through and do all 500 or 1,000 or however many admissions there are on the first hit. I just want to make sure, just a sanity check, that it is doing what I expect it to do. That would be a safe bet to use. But ultimately, it saves an awful lot of time and is a lot quicker and easier to do it, and saves all that administration work for you and your team. Again, I hope that makes sense. If not, please post any questions to Basecamp or email. We will answer them as soon as possible.